UValleYRadio.net. Good morning. I'm Robert Miguel here with you, and already looking forward to the weekend. Fort Clark Days are happening, and we're totally excited about it. First of all, if you want to get online and kind of beat me to the punch, go to www.fortclarkdays.org and find out more information. But right now, I've got a special guest on the phone to give us the full rundown, the whole kit caboodle. We got Christina Bitter on the phone right now from Fort Clark Days. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. This seems to be getting bigger and bigger every year, and I'm going to start off right now and shamefully say that I've never been to Fort Clark Days, but I've heard a lot about it over the years. And I know that things probably slowed down during the pandemic time and whatnot, so I guess you guys are probably just ramping up and getting bigger and better, right?
Definitely. We are just planning on growing and growing. The pandemic definitely did put a damper on everything, so that really is our goal, to get the life and fun back into the community, get everybody out, enjoying seeing each other, and just really enjoying the history of Fort Clark.
So now Fort Clark Days is this weekend, March 3rd and 4th, and it happens in Brackettville, Fort Clark Springs in Brackettville, Texas. So are you local to Brackettville? Who are you as a Uvaldian or a person of the county?
As a Fort Clarker?
Yes.
So I actually have only been out here full time for about 3 years.
Okay.
But my father-in-law is originally from Brackettville. We have a ranch outside of town, and we'd always wanted to be out here full time. My husband grew up coming out here and hunting. So we decided to make the permanent move about 3 years ago.
Now, where did you guys move from?
We moved from Lake Jackson to south of Houston down on the coast.
Sounds like you moved here right prior to the pandemic, it sounds like. So
we did.
Yeah. So the world kind of went crazy around that time. How is it adjusting to like Fort Clark, that area?
We love it. It is such a wonderful, warm community, and that's one of the greatest things. So I got to experience my first Fort Clark Days right before the pandemic. So I've got to go. We've had one more since then, and then this will be my first year to volunteer with it and actually to be one of the co-chairs. So I am new and fresh and have all the enthusiasm. It's been, our volunteers are just, so it is completely put on by volunteers.
Sounds like you just jumped right in, and yeah, that's good. I love it when people come into...
Well, my co-chair is my mother-in-law, so luckily we are a pretty good team and have had the most amazing committee to work with.
Sounds like a good combination. You got kind of the old history, the heritage, along with the new, somebody from the outside with more, with a different viewpoint or perspective, and then more energy as well, too. So I've been saying this for a long time, and I don't even care if I get beef. I was born and raised in Uvalde. I spent a lot of years, decades in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and moved back here about 5 years ago. And something about small-town communities, as wonderful as they are, sometimes the powers that be are a little reluctant to let what they view as outsiders into positions of authority or organization, and whatnot. So I always think it's great when someone from the outside gets in, permeates that little block, and then is able to bring some outside information into something that's kind of really cool and a local tradition and history. So I commend you.
Absolutely, and it's been really wonderful because we do have volunteers that have been sharing this and on the committee for decades, really. And honestly, we're starting to get a little burned out. Mm-hmm. And I mean, now, and they just having new people involved has just really brought their spark back. I mean, we see so much enthusiasm, and I mean, they have been pounding the pavement, getting us sponsorships, new vendors. We're going to have roughly around 20 arts and crafts vendors, food vendors, and then our living historians. We have over 100 that come every year.
Now, clarify for those who just haven't been to one or haven't seen it, but when they say living history, go ahead and give me a rundown of what exactly that means.
Got it. So, and I am not the biggest history buff. So for some people, when you hear Historian Festival, you might think it might be a little boring, but it is not. We have the Texas Camel Corps camels come. We have cannons fired. We have the crown dancers, the Lipan Apaches, the Buffalo Soldiers. It is just It is just a variety for everybody. We do historic tours of the forts. And we're going to have, this year, we're going to have over 60 musicians and entertainers.
So in order to paint a picture, basically you've got history reenacted of sort, or it's kind of like going to, I guess, maybe like a Renaissance festival where people are dressed in period, right?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I mean, obviously it takes a lot of warm bodies and a lot of costuming and organization. Are they always in character? How strict is that? Well, give us a little insight as to how these living historians, these actors, portray.
They are very relaxed and welcoming, and they do have a ladies' tea on Friday for the ladies to attend, the living historians. So Friday actually is our school day. So we invite all the surrounding schools if they would like to bring students. It is open to the public too on Friday, but we also really focus on exposing students to all this history.
Now let's rewind just a bit and let's talk about Fort Clark Springs. I mean, actually what it is, the historical significance of that area in Brackettville.
Like I said, I am not the biggest historian.
Right.
That's why, and I have only been here for 3 years, so that's why everybody needs to come to Fort Clark Days. But it was originally an Army fort. Mm-hmm. There's still quite many historical buildings still standing. I actually live in what was once a barrack.
Huh. Wow.
That's been turned into a house, and out my front door is the Historic Post Theater. So a lot of the buildings that we'll be using will be in what was originally a commissary. There's the service club. There's just such a wealth of history here.
And it's all just still standing, huh?
Oh, and a lot of the proceeds from events like Fort Clark Days are put back into the preservation of the building.
Very cool. Well, I mean, obviously, it is a gem that we want to take care of and celebrate and bring more attention to. So it sounds like a great family event. Again, so this Friday, March 3rd, that's going to be like student school day. You're going to have busloads of kids just showing up, right? Mm-hmm. That's fantastic.
Yes, but for the adults, Friday evening, actually from 7 to 10, we are going to have an old-fashioned street dance.
Oh, nice.
Where Country Horizon Band and Los Morris Creek Band will be playing. So we've got that. That's a new addition. Well, there used to be street dances quite often on Fort Clark, especially Brown and Root when they owned it. They did lots of social functions like that. So we're trying to bring back that feel and the entertainment aspect that used to be here in community.
Yeah, and we want to get really authentic, so y'all bring your, 6 shooters and shoot up in the sky, and get your party on.
Maybe not. We do have security at our gate. But then Saturday, we are actually also, I mentioned the Post Theater, we will be showing the original Alamo, free to the first 100 people from 6:30 on. And actually, before that, we just found out we're going to have a slideshow and Q&A from 5:30 to 6:30 with a local historian and actor that was involved with the Alamo and Alamo Village that used to be outside of Brackettville.
Oh, cool.
So we're really trying to add more and more extra features and something for everyone.
So for those who have never been to Fort Clark Springs, or maybe even have just kind of driven through Brackettville and never really spent a lot of time, as far as directions go, maybe tips on parking, for those coming from outside of the area, give us some tips as to make it a little bit easier as far as just organizing your day.
Sure. It is. We are probably one of the easiest places to find. You'll either be most likely coming in on 90 from the east or west. So we're right in Brackettville on the south side of 90. There's a big sign, and there will be there's a security gate there, and parking will be $5 a vehicle, and we'll have volunteers there to direct everybody. And it's just really easy. And then once you park, you can just explore the whole grounds and all we have to offer.
Now, me and my kid, when we go to these kind of things, we're really big on souvenirs. Are you guys going to have any T-shirts or cool little swag type stuff?
Yes. Actually, our T-shirt this year was designed by one of our local artists, Gage Brown. And, it is the most epic image. And so we'll have T-shirts, and then actually with that image, postcards and note cards. And we're still working on our merchandise, but we'll definitely have those to offer.
So I'm sure there's going to be some food and drink available as far as that kind of stuff goes. Or are you going to have some like food vendors? And if so, give me some information.
So we have about, I believe, 10 food vendors. We've got ribs, barbecue, smash burgers, and a variety. Snow cones, hopefully if it's hot. Hot dogs, the works. So we will have a variety of food for any taste bud.
What are the hours of operation for the event?
Both days. The main festival is from 8 to 5, and yes, open to the public throughout those days. And everything, the cannon firing will be going off starting 8:30, and then throughout the day, I believe 11, 2, and 4 precisely. We'll have live music inside and outside all throughout the day. Living historians are set up all around the grounds. And so arts and crafts vendors are there both days. Just everything to offer. Yeah,
it sounds like a lot of fun and just something you want to bring the whole family to. So if you can't make it out, you want to maybe you're just kind of excited hearing about this for the first time. How can somebody else get involved or make a donation? What are ways that they can help if they can't make it out there in person?
If you go to our website, fortclarkdays.org, there's information about sponsorships in the future. This year we have had such an amazing outpouring of sponsorships from AEP, DKM Enterprises, Bank and Trust. We have been blown away by the generosity this year. So that, and there's contact information for our committee and everybody.
Are you still looking for volunteers or helpers? Can somebody still get on that?
We are always looking for volunteers, and we can always find something for somebody to do. Anybody's welcome to contact me. I can give you my number, and I will find a place for somebody if they wanted to help out.
Right on. Well, go and throw that number out there if you're comfortable with it.
Sure. If you would like, you can call me at 979-824-1909.
And again, that's Christina Bitter with Fort Clark Days. The website is fortclarkdays.org. It's this weekend, Friday, March 3rd, Saturday, March 4th, over in Fort Clark Springs, Brackettville. Living history, over 100 historians, food and drink, and live music and movies. I mean, you're going to see John Wayne out there. It's going to be a good time. So thank you so much for all the information. Is there any other information you got to get out there that we haven't touched over yet?
I think we've covered everything. And, of course, if everybody comes to Fort Clark Days, they'll learn even more.
Absolutely awesome. Again, the website is fortclarkdays.org this weekend in Brackettville. Christina Bitter, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate the insight into the event, okay?
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, that's going to wrap it up here on uvaldyradio.net.